Joseph, YouTube, welcome to the Coffee Pod. My name is Chisha Zed.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
Let's get it.
If your husband is a good guy, but you're ready for divorce, you're not a bad person. So don't let guilt get the best of you.
You're not doing him any favors by staying. Think of it this way. If he's a good guy, he deserves to be happy. That means he deserves to be with somebody who values him and wants him just the way he is. If that's not you, you gotta let him go.
He may not see it like this right now, but you're doing both of you a favor.
Your relationship doesn't even have to be going bad. It doesn't have to be toxic. It doesn't have to be too hard. You don't need a reason. Does that sound familiar?
Love yourself, know your value, know your worth, and then all of a sudden there's this awakening.
Been divorced before, my first marriage, we made all of the mistakes. Unfortunately, he passed away.
So why did you guys get a divorce?
Because I really wanted something different. It's very unfortunate because he was the most loving, kind person.
If anything, you're actually gonna start building up resentment. Your relationship doesn't have to be toxic to validate your feelings of wanting to leave.
I had all the love and support that I could have ever wanted. But I think I went through a period wanting money. Like I wanted to be with someone and be at a different level. And I saw him work all of the time.
Just let me ask you this: who do you think you married? I mean, was he skydiving and jumping off mountains when you met him, or was he the same dude that he is today?
No, Your Honor.
It's one thing to work from 4 a.m. to 10 p.m. at night, day in, day out, and still have no resources.
But did you see what you just told me? You told me he is positive and dynamic and in his element at his job. And now you're at work, right? And now you're asking him to leave that job that he's dynamic in, positive, and enjoys and is steady. And you see the fact that he wants to keep that job as complacency and an inability to move. Do you see what I'm saying?
Your Honor, it's not that I want him to not keep his job. I just want him to move up. I'm moving up. As I progress in my education, I'm progressing at work.
What?
So, long story short, you wanted a different life and lifestyle than he was able to provide. And so you said, you know what, this, I'm out of here. I need more money.
I'm taking on promotions. He's still doing the same thing he did in 2000. He's been offered a promotion as a supervisor. He said no, somebody else would be fit for that promotion.
March 21st, 2023. The last day that I'm going to be married today. 2020 was very hard on everybody, and we had to sell our beautiful home because of some poor financial decisions that I had made. But I don't think anyone in the world anticipated COVID, and it really did a number on my finances because it was one of the worst financial years I've had since we were together. And I think that really pulled on my wife's heartstrings because she really loved that home, and so did I.
Who says something like that?
Somebody who's content.
Yes, Your Honor, but he wanted to have a family, and okay, if he liked his job back then and he was single and it fit his lifestyle, wonderful, but that's not the case anymore. He's got a family now.
I really think we're going to start to see the divorce rates just skyrocket because it seems like women who are married to men are having a reckoning. I think a lot of it has to do with TikTok. They're starting to realize that, not only do their husbands not even like them or know them, but they actually have it worse off than their moms.
Mr. Sumpit, when you two got married, did you have any conversations about what your life was going to be like and how your family was going to function?
I was always very supportive with Alexandra, and my thought process was if I had my job and to stick to being always doing what I'm doing and to provide for the house and, just keep everything intact, then she would be able to go through school, get her degree. And
so a little thing about my marriage is I actually asked for a divorce probably about 3 or 4 times before I actually got divorced. Each time he would beg and cry and be like, I can change, blah, 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 let me change. I love you so much. You're the best thing that ever happened to me. Give me a chance. And all my friends at the same time would be like, oh my God, he loves you so much. He wants to change. He wants to be there for you. You have to give him a chance. He's trying so hard. And probably one of the biggest issues among many was just a serious lack of emotional intimacy. I mean, the guy did not want to spend time with me at all. He didn't want to talk to me. He didn't really want to know me. He didn't want to know what was going on in my life. I would actually go out to dinner with this man and we would just sit in silence. And I'm like, this is who I'm supposed to spend the rest of my life with.
Your Honor.
He's being an anchor to your kite. He is keeping you and the earth and the ground and stability together so you can fly as high as you want to and never be afraid that you're going to fall off the side of the mountain. How is that not a good thing?
Your Honor, he doesn't do anything. He does the same thing over and over. And I'm not saying he's a bad guy. He really is. He's a good guy.
I was selfish.
You think?
And took advantage of a real unfortunate situation, which was he loved me and David unconditionally.
But that's the problem. He's just very comfortable. He needs to get out there. He needs to pursue an education. He needs to get out there and volunteer. He needs to explore the world. I don't want to live with someone who's static.
You know what?
Completely unconditionally. And when you love someone like that, you really accept their flaws and you accept less than what you should. So really, I should have been a better wife.
I had this friend some years back. She was my best friend in the whole wide world. We hung out constantly. I enjoyed her company. Highly intelligent woman, quite attractive, married. Husband is very attractive, very successful. Not only did he provide for his family, she didn't work. Care of the kids. He was emotionally open and available. Every time I'd come over and hang out with both of them, you know, he was so talkative and emotive and empathetic. I thought, wow, they're the perfect couple in my opinion. Two beautiful teenage children, perfect life.
Right.
And he would be in the house cleaning, I mean, Ajax and Pine Sol and Windex and mops out. And he would ask me, you know, Demi, how does everything look? Do you think she'll be happy? Is this up to a woman's standards? And I would say, wow, you know, you're really incredible. Of course she's going to be happy. You know, you did an amazing job. You always do an amazing job. The relationship with my friend, something started changing in her. You know, she started talking to me about depression, and she's overweight, and she didn't like it. And it never bothered her husband. I mean, he adored her no matter what. But she started complaining about her weight and this depression and saying that she needs to go to therapy, which she did. She found a therapist and started going. But after she started going to therapy, I noticed there was a dramatic change in her. She started complaining. After these sessions, she would begin complaining more and more about her husband. And how he's making her miserable. And I would say to her, what do you mean? This is all of a sudden new for you since you started seeing this new therapist.
Right.
So I started inquiring about the therapist. You know, what are her beliefs? And she said, oh, she's very feminine. And then within a couple of months, you know, my friend began spiraling. Things got weirder and weirder for her. She was complaining more and more about her husband, how he's making her miserable, how he's keeping her fat, how he is to blame for her depression.
Wow.
And no matter what I would say to her, I would always like reach some kind of dead end. She would come at me with something else. And then she started talking about divorce, that she'll be happy and her depression will lift and she'll finally be able to lose the weight once she gets rid of her husband. And I was trying so hard to talk to this woman, and she would get angry with me. And I said to her one day, I don't want to say her name, but I said, hey, you know, what is it that he does that is so bad? Please just put it into words for me. Tell me, what does he do that is so bad? And she couldn't think of anything. And she sat there for a couple of minutes pondering. And then she came up with, he leaves apple cores on the nightstand. That was all she had. Apple cores on the nightstand. Because he would eat an apple before falling asleep.
I left my ex-husband.
What a surprise.
And all the shit I said, right? to him to make him off. And the thing that's so interesting now is we're always hearing about 70% of women initiate divorces. I was definitely part of that 70%.
Really? Ah, man.
And my friend was saying, damn, that's f***ed up. That's f***ed up, all the things you were saying. He was a guy, of course. And I was just kind of like, f*** him. I was telling him I didn't want to be with him no more. He wasn't listening to me. I was telling him this isn't working out. He wasn't listening to me. I was telling him, hey, you know, I don't feel comfortable with this, that. He wasn't listening to me.
You. Yep.
So at the end of the day, men are not going to divorce women because it doesn't convenience them.
Marriage is a big scam. It doesn't benefit the woman at all. All we do is take on more work and take on additional children.
Why? Why would they divorce women? We cook, we clean, we're bedmates with them, we take care of their kids.
Including the ones we birth and the one we married to. In addition to that, they expect us to do all of the housework, all of the children rearing, everything that they felt like their grandmothers and their mothers were doing or did do.
Why would they divorce us? That literally doesn't make sense. Why would they?
Because they're so awesome. That's what she's basically saying. Why would any man want to divorce us? Of course we initiate the divorce. Who's going to divorce us when we do all the work?
It makes perfect sense. They wouldn't. It makes perfect sense. They would not leave us. And I had to stoop so low in my character to get him to finally leave me alone.
I don't want to do anything for you. I don't want to cook for you. I don't want to clean for you. I don't want to be your secretary and set your appointments and chase you around and make you go because of your health.
And I gotta go to work. And I gotta pay bills. And I gotta do all kinds of other shit for his. No, marriage is the biggest scam that's ever been pulled on a female. I tell all of y'all, stay the away from that shit.
I don't want to pick up your socks for you. I don't want to be one of those people who comes on TikToks and makes funny videos about how you can't do anything for yourself and men do the darndest things and everybody's in the comments like, yeah, my husband does that too. My boyfriend does that too. That.
Wife confesses to her husband that she no longer feels the butterflies. There is no spark. She says, and I quote, I just want somebody else on top of me. No more wasting time. Don't believe me? Check it out for yourself.
I tell you, we had a moment. We were driving. And she was like, ugh. And I was like, what's going on, babe? And she was like, you know, I just want someone else on me. And I was like,
it had been.
I'm driving. I'm like.
He was like, what?
Wait, excuse me? I was like, what do you mean you just want somebody else on? And look, she was in her own world. She was just like.
Just staring out the window.
When the truth comes out.
And it didn't mean exactly that. What I meant was...
Nah, yes, you did. No, here comes the clarification. You said what you meant, man.
We had been in a relationship for...
a long time.
Probably 10 years by then.
No, it was like 7 years.
7-year itch, you know what they say. And, you know, I had missed... Like, you miss when you get married, that moment that you guys meet for the first time and... He walks you to your door and you're like, oh, is this gonna be a thing? Is it not gonna be? The butterflies, all those things when you're dating people, the spontaneity.
Dating people, keyword, you miss dating different people.
Do you believe I'm the man you should be married to?
Oh, man. Poor Frank, look at that, man.
Well, I'm going to be honest and say yes.
And she said, I've been having an affair with a man from work. And I remember just tears began to stream. I didn't move, completely motionless. Tears began to stream. And then she said, and that's not all. And she said, I'm pregnant with this child.
Today I found out that the guy that my ex was having a secret relationship behind my back, the one that ultimately broke up our family and everything, he died. He died of cancer. Now, they wasn't together at this point. He had got sick of her shit too, and he ended up leaving her and all the stuff when he got sick because, you know, she's all about herself and he had to focus on healing, but he never healed. He died. And, you know, she put up the whole post on Facebook saying how she missed him and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And I felt a certain way. I felt a sense of satisfaction, honestly, when I found out the news. I felt the sense of satisfaction. I said, good riddance. I said, that's what you get. That's what you get for sneaking off and meeting with my wife in the middle of the goddamn night while I'm here with our kids and she's acting like she's at work meetings and shit at 3 o'clock in the morning.
So for the past few months, I had that feeling that there was something going on, like there was another person. So I always try to, you know, get a hold of her phone and try to find out about the password so I could like check it and see. I would always ask her, hey, how come you don't tell me your password no more? You didn't care about it before, now you care about it. She's like, oh, well, because you're supposed to trust me without me even showing you your phone, this and that. And that would just raise red flags in my book. And I was like, okay, well, if something's going on, you're gonna get caught in my mind, right?
I felt a certain way about all of the messages I found about her degrading me in light of this man. I felt the way. I did. I felt a sense of satisfaction. I felt a sense of satisfaction because I remember him sending a bed of roses to our house. But then when I look back on it, I remember knowing that he had no idea that I was even there. That she was probably telling him all kinds of bullshit and he had no idea that that relationship was even going on that way. Or that me and her were still even having a relationship.
So the day came this Sunday afternoon, around 3-ish in the afternoon, and she went to walk the dog here in the neighborhood. I happened to be that I wanted to take a shower. I go into the restroom, in the master restroom. I go in the restroom, lock the door, and then someone here trying to get into the shower, I hear like a phone, you know, like a video, YouTube video on the phone just going off. I'm like, whose phone is that? At first I thought it was my daughter's, and then I look around and I saw her phone there.
So he was probably a victim too. It was probably one of the reasons he stopped dealing with her. He leaves behind 6 kids, I believe 3 baby mamas. And yeah, I actually feel bad for him now. After I've had some time to think about it, no telling what she told that man. No telling what lies she told that man. She could have been telling that man lies just like she was telling me. In her post for him, she was saying how when we lost our house, how he helped her out and how he helped her find her dogs and stuff, when the whole time I was out here in Vegas in a room waiting for her to come and meet me so we can get our apartment. But the whole time she's around with some dude.
I'm like, wait a minute, her phone is here and it's unlocked. It's the time. Put that screen of the video to the side, and then I clicked on her messages and I found the conversation she had with this one guy, and I went through the text. They lovey-dovey here talking about I miss you, this and that. Yeah, have a great workout, this and that. So I'm pretty sure this guy, she met him at the gym. I don't know. She's telling me a different story, but long story short, next thing you know, as I'm going through the text messages, she's knocking on the door. She remembers she left her phone. She's like, man, I'm screwed. Knocking on the door, and then I'm like, what? I'm using the restroom. She's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm using the restroom. She's like, open the door. I'm like, wait, I'm in the restroom. She's like, she found a way to open the door. She opened it.
Damn.
And then she's like, give me my phone. I'm like, who's Rob? She's like, give me my phone and I'll tell you. I'm like, no, who's Rob? And then I give it to you. Back and forth for a few seconds, and then started going through her pictures in front of her. And I saw her pictures of her naked that she had sent to him. And that's what I said, this is it, bro. This is nasty. This is nasty. You don't even send me pictures of you with a lingerie or you naked showing your chest to me. You're sending this picture to this guy?
So yeah, I felt a certain way. And then at the end of the day, when I really thought about it, I felt no anger towards him. All this anger I have is towards her. Because now, guess what? It's another nigga interacting with my kids. So that's 2 niggas since I've been gone. Probably 3, probably 4 in a, what has it been? 4-year time period since I've been away from the house.
I hate my wife, but I may never get a chance to divorce her. Before you jump down my throat, let me give some backstory to this situation. I, 28 male, have my wife, Amber, 28 female, and we've been married for the last 10 years. Today, I woke up in the morning, grabbed her out of bed, showered her, wiped her, fed her, and then sat her inside of her favorite chair with her favorite show playing. My wife, for all intents and purposes, is a shell, a body of the person that she used to be. A year and a half ago, my wife got into a tragic car accident. She got hit in a T-bone collision going 75 while running a red light. I stopped loving my wife 2 months ago. And I know what you might be thinking, it was because she was in a vegetable state. No, that was not it. I still loved my wife inside of that state and took care of her every single day. I still take care of her every single day. The reason I hate my wife was because of what I found in her phone. I was going to do a collage of our relationship and put it inside of our room to show how commemorative we are together. All the trips we took together, all the places we have been, everything we have visited on my dime because I loved her and I cared for her and I wanted her to have the best things in the world. Well, when I went into her phone, I kind of saw some messages from the exact day of the accident. It pretty much was, hurry up. Where are you? I need you right now. I'm on the way. I love you. I had trouble getting away from him. Who's him? I'm him. I looked at the phone and I was shocked. I've never seen this name before, but after scrolling through the messages, I saw pictures, I saw videos, I saw things.
Oof.
This coffee smells like shit.
I couldn't even get her to do with me. In Barbados, I couldn't even get her to do with me. In Japan, I'm sitting there like, wait, we went all over the world, and you did this next door. You did this down the street. You did this a block away.
Damn.
Okay. This is ridiculous. So I had to see who the man was. I had to find him. I had to know who was this great man. And I went to his page and I saw he was inside of a relationship. He got into a relationship 2 days after my wife's accident, after the lady that he was smashing on got put into a military situation, got vegetabilized. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Somebody that loved you with all of their heart, that would take care of you every single day while you were sick, you don't love, you're not there for, you won't do these things for, but somebody that will leave you 2 days after your accident, somebody that won't give a second if you're okay after your accident, that's the person you love?
But Anthony and I have known each other since we were 7 and 10 years old. We got married when we were like 19 and 22. The company that we were working at the time we got married, our boss was 18 years older than me, started text messaging me on my personal cell phone, asking me about whether or not I had any sex toys. I've been homeschooled. I didn't even know what that crap was. Grew up in a very religious household. So what does boss do? Boss decides to teach me about it. Affair begins. While I'm in a relationship with Anthony. It continues on. Mind you, he is my boss and Anthony's boss. During this time, Anthony and I end up having a baby, our daughter Penelope, who is now 13. She is biologically Anthony's daughter. She has been DNA tested, so don't even bring me that bullshit.
Unfortunate.
About being married, I don't know how it's come down to this. I don't know why my husband has gotten so spoiled about me doing literally everything. He works, he's in the army, yeah, whatever, I'm a stay-at-home mom, but I literally take care of everything in this house. There's not one thing that this man takes care of. He barely takes out the goddamn trash when I ask him to. So after a weekend of doing absolutely yesterday and last night, I did a courteous reminder. I said, hey, did you remember to put your clothes in the dryer? He ignored me. I said it again later on that night. Hey, did you throw your clothes in the dryer? He ignored me. And then this morning at around 6:30 in the morning when my baby woke me up, I said, hey, did you remember to put your clothes in the dryer? And he says, I don't know. And I said, what do you mean you don't know? Did you throw it in the dryer or not? And he said, oh, I started it, but I don't know if it dried. I came over to the laundry room and the clothes were still in the washer. And in the morning, he restarted. So you know what I did the majority of Mother's Day? I contemplated, why the am I still married? Why? Why am I still married? To take care of another man?
Wow.
Like he's toddler because I
Wow.
already have a toddler. I don't need a grown-ass toddler.
Wow.
Why am I still married?
First off, I hope he divorces you because you were on the internet complaining about your husband to strangers.
Let's go.
Speak to your husband. Speak to close friends. You look like an awful wife right now.
Facts.
And I mean that wholeheartedly. And I don't want people in the comments weaponizing competence. You are a stay-at-home mother. Do the damn laundry. I am dual military. My partner is gone, and I have a 2-year-old. I don't have to hire anybody to cook, clean, do the laundry, take care, wipe asses. It is a part of life. And you're really gonna say he does absolutely nothing. He does nothing, really. You literally lost the argument at I'm a stay-at-home mother.
Talk
and I
about
can't
it.
wait for all the stay-at-home moms to attack me. It's a job. I'm aware. Also mother. That works.
Talk about it.
The military is not fun. And then coming home and seeing your partner on you on the internet, not fun. You thought this was cute and you thought this was a flex. Go speak to your partner, go to counseling, get it fixed.
Let's go.
You sit here and you say you have 2 toddlers to take care of because you're doing someone's laundry. Guess what? He has another toddler to take care of because he has to pay for all your shit. And you mentioned him going in at 10 a.m. How often does that happen? Seriously. Again, military. You're not gonna fool anybody. Grow up.
I almost broke up with my husband because I thought he was boring. Turns out he was just healthy and sane. You see, when I was dating my husband, I realized how joyful he was, how active he was, how motivated, career, goal-driven, money saver, never wanted any problems. And every time we became misaligned, he would just want to sit down and talk about it calmly, hear each other out, forgive each other if necessary, and just move on and continue growing. And I misinterpreted this as him not fighting for my love. You see, I grew up in a very chaotic type of love, the novela type, where everybody's slamming doors, yelling at each other, you don't talk to each other for days. And so I thought that that was love. I thought that that was passion. And what I want to remind you of is to look back at the type of love that you grew up around and ask yourself if you were just addicted to a chaotic, dramatic type of love, and realize that that's not the type of love that you need now in your relationship, that you need now to grow. God doesn't want that for you. You understand? Look at that for a second and ask yourself, how do you want to love? How do you want to be loved? Because I'll tell you one thing, it's not the novella type of love.
Michelle Obama says there were 10 years where I couldn't stand my husband. No more wasting time. Let's get it.
And people think I'm being catty by saying this. It's like there were 10 years when I couldn't stand my husband.
You do say that. You say
10 long
10
years. And guess when it happened? When those kids were little, right?
Yes.
Right? Because you can be all great individually when you're just married. You got your life, he's got his. You come together. It's all, ooh, good to see you. Bye. Take it easy. And then you have kids.
Not take it easy.
Take it easy. You're traveling. That's great. Good. I get to hang out and watch the TV I want to watch.
Right.
But the minute we had kids, it was like, where are you going? And how far? And you start measuring. It's like, how many diapers did you change? And oh, you're golfing? Oh, you got time? Oh, you got time to golf?
Guys, real quick, I just want to explain to you why I've been reacting to these videos of Michelle talking about her marriage with President Obama. I've been very honest on this channel since I started with my plans to get married, right? I've said I will get married, but, told you guys I'll take precautions and whatnot. And this particular video stood out to me because she says there were 10 years where I couldn't stand my husband. I have said, like hella times I've brought this up. Most women today who go through a marriage, let's say that's the last 50 years, and they have to go through 10 years where they can't stand you, right? Can't stand the man who they're with, they would quit. They're pushing that eject button. They're throwing the towel in. They're giving up. And I've often said it's because women aren't dedicated or committed to the union of family today. They don't value the union of family. They value their own happiness. And that's all, right? F what you think, F the kids, it's about her. And the only way I've seen marriages work, from the countless amount of elderly that I've spoken to, the only way I've seen it work is when two people are committed to that marriage working. Now, of course, guys, I get it. Nothing is fail-proof in this life. But when it comes to mindset and the Kool-Aid, the tea,
No, I'll have a tea actually.
that women are being fed, it's the opposite of what's been talked about in this video, which is the only way a marriage can work is if two people are committed to that working. Not one person committed to the happiness, and as soon as they realize that they're no longer happy, they leave. And again, for most women today, I believe it couldn't go 10 years where they can't stand a man and they're going to tough that out. And why am I talking about women? Well, because they initiate 80% of divorces in the Black community, and in the general public, it's about 70%. They're the ones who are calling it quits. Anyways, let's get back into it.
How you at the gym all the time?
Why you in my brain right now? I'm like golfing.
That's when all the measuring starts, because you got this project.
Yes.
And guess what? Little kids, they're terrorists. They are. They have demands.
God.
They don't
You're
talk.
right.
They're poor communicators.
Yes.
They cry all the time. They're irrational.
They're selfish.
Needy. And you love them more than anything.
Oh.
And so
Yes.
you can't blame them.
No.
Right? Because look, they're cute. And he's so cute. And look at him throwing his plate. That's so cute. So you turn that ire on each other.
Yes.
You know, and for 10 years while we're trying to build our careers and, you know, worrying about school and who's doing what and what, you know, I was like, oh, this isn't even.
No.
And
That
guess
is a
what?
long time.
Marriage isn't 50-50.
Yeah.
Woo, she said it. Marriage isn't 50-50. Let's keep listening.
Ever. There are times I'm 70, he's 30. There are times he's 60, 40. But guess what? 10 years, we've been married 30.
Wow.
I would take 10 bad years over 30. It's just how you look at it, right? And people give up for the 5 years. I can't take it.
How
it was
do you
bad.
know?
Who's people, Michelle? Say it.
Oh, what is the? Because sometimes
You gotta know your person. Do you like him? I mean, you could be
Right.
mad at him, but do you still look at him and go, I'm not happy with you, but I respect you. I don't agree with you.
Yes.
But you're still a kind, smart person.
Yes.
The feelings are gonna change over time, right?
Yes.
You're not gonna always be. So the minute that goes, people want to give up on it.
It's true.
But now you're in the work. You're in the work of it, and that's why I want to talk about the work of it, the work of any relationship, the work of friendship.
All right, guys, there you go. This is kind of the second video I think I've done of Michelle Obama kind of talking about her marriage. By the way, it's nothing to do with politics. The comment section down below, I know some of you guys just can't help yourselves. Nothing to do with politics. I don't care about their politics. It's got nothing to do with that. So don't even comment down below. Please don't bring politics into this. Nothing to do with that. Okay. As always, modern women had a lot to say about this video. First comment here comes from a woman and it says, I love how she makes it clear you don't stay no matter what. Wait, what? You stay when there's still mutual respect and adoration, even through troubles. You see, guys, this is insane. This has 72K likes. Out of everything that was said there, what these women got, 72K plus of them is you don't stay no matter what. You stay when there's still mutual respect and adoration, even through the troubles. Yeah, when she no longer thinks you respect her. Incredible. 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 Some of you are probably saying, well, Chisha, you still gonna get married? How dare you? Listen, I don't tell people what to do. Again, make your own decision. I personally still value the institution of marriage. I want to have children. Statistically, best situation to raise up kids. And of course, I'm going to take steps to protect myself. I understand nothing is bulletproof. I get it. Next comment here says, this hits so hard. People don't open up about how hard marriage is enough. 37K likes. Another comment here from another woman says, the only person I'm taking marital advice from, and she goes on to say, podcasters take notes. 61K likes. So Michelle Obama basically just said what men have been saying forever, which is marriage is not 50-50. Women usually ask, they miss that part. And she's telling them not to give up. The only thing she didn't do, and she didn't do this on purpose, is talk about the stats. And say, who's leaving marriages? Largely women. She didn't do that because That would have been too much truth for him. Too much coffee.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
Next comment here from another woman says the "do you like him" part, 1,700 likes. And then another woman responded back to that, says heavy on the "do you like him." These are probably women who have divorced their husbands. Another chick here says, this is so true. Mama with 2 young babies and trying to run my biz is tough. They always want mama. Next comment from another woman says, not me being traumatized and untrusting, so the measuring begins immediately, with the laughing emoji. Another woman here says, yo, this is why me and my man not having kids. Laugh out loud. I love Michelle, with the heart. And finally, the last comment says, you can ask any couple who's been together 20 plus years. They all hit rough patches after having kids. It's normal. And I love her honesty speaking on it. Interesting video. As always, guys, curious